Hi, it's Hyperloop time again because a quick follow-up video to my previous one on the main channel here. I totally missed one of the Hyperloops and they just did a passenger test. Thank you for the viewer who alerted me to this in the comments. So they were not on the they were not part of the Hyperloop association here because the association members are Heart Hyperloop. We looked at that. H1, that's the Virgin Hyperloop one, which just went out of business. Hyperloop TT, Novomo. Now, a couple of people actually complained, why did I have Novomo on the list of Hyperloop companies? Because they're just a maglev type thing, like a center rail maglev over existing train lines, and apparently that's been a thing for a long time. And well, how are they involved in? How is that a Hyperloop? Well, they're part of the Hyperloop Association. Don't blame me. In fact, this guy, sorry, I can't, Zemek Ben Pakzek, he's the president of the Hyperloop Association. He's from Novomo. So don't blame me. They're associating themselves with Hyperloop because they want the hype, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, Swisspod, Transpod, Zeleros Association. But one that is not on the list, so I didn't cover it in the previous video, is TUM Hyperloop, a German company. And just 4 months ago, they actually did their first Hyperloop vacuum passenger run. So let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at the video first, then we'll have a look at their website here. So let's go. Here we go. Oh, look at this bad boy. Oh, look at this. Oh, the slow-mo walk, the hero shot. The TUM Hyperloop looks pretty groovy, doesn't it? They're serious. They are serious. Look at this. This is their test track. I don't know, like, it doesn't look long. What does it look, 30 meters long or something? It's not long. Nice pod. Look at this. Yeah, good luck. You may die. You may get crushed. TUM Hyperloop.
Ready for pump down.
Pump down.
Ready to go.
Now, there was actually some talk about whether or not the Virgin test, the famous Virgin Hyperloop 1 test, was actually in a vacuum or not. I'm not 100% sure, actually, because I don't think they actually mention it in any of their videos or press releases or anything like that. Everyone just assumes it was, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, they do give us a number in this, so they are actually testing this in a vacuum. So I'm going to give them the Hyperloop 1 the benefit of the doubt. It was in a vacuum, right? That was, I guess, the whole point of it. And they went down, what, a 500-meter track? I think their track was 500 meters. So this one, yeah, as you'll see, it doesn't go very fast or far. Oh, there go the valves. All right. Come on. You can do it. Hyperloop.
Tube target pressure reached. Okay, we're at 10 millibar.
10 millibars. For those who don't know, 10 millibars, 1,000 millibars is a standard atmosphere. So I'm sitting in now roughly 1,000 millibars here. So they're at 10 millibars, which is basically 1/100th of an atmosphere here. So I don't know how good that, I'm not a vacuum guy. I don't know how good that is in terms of like a really good vacuum. A really good vacuum is 1 millibar, is it? I'm not entirely sure, but you know, they're sucking out like, you know, 99% of it, basically. So yeah, it's a vacuum. if something happened to the seals in here, these guys might come a gutter. So let's go.
Entering the next checkpoint.
Starting levitation.
I wonder if they drew the short straws. I wonder who get those. Levitation, there you go. So this is like a maglev type thing. I don't know exactly the implementation of it, but it's a maglev type thing. So let's actually watch that again. Let's actually watch it pop up.
Reach nominal Ärger.
Ooh, it's just like the front came up.
3, 1.
3, 2, 1, starting propulsion. There you go. It's actually gliding. It's, you know, you've got to admit it's kind of cool, right? But it's never going to be practical. That's the thing. TUM Hyperloop. Yay, they went. That's it. What did they get? 5 kilometers an hour? 5 Ks an hour? And they went, no, back and forth, just back and forth, back and forth. What'd they go, 10, 20 meters?
Everyone involved, we made it!
We made it! Yeah! Yeah! We're pumped! I can't believe it. We did it and we didn't die. There's the big, okay, so you can see the big, well, it's not big. It's just, Is that a double? Yeah, is that a double O-ring seal? That looks like a bigger black O-ring seal around there. It's hard to tell. And is that also that sort of like brownie one? Is that an O-ring as well? Is that a double seal? I don't know. Leave it in the comments down below. It's hard to see on... Yeah, I think it could be. So anyway, they've got their big steel tube. Is it actually that thick? That seems thick, doesn't it? Or is it just, you know, just the outer ring? Not entirely sure, but... So what are this motor, where, like, they've got cables running out to this motor here. What does that drive? Let's see them opening that again. Oh, there you go. Okay, it slides out like that. All right. Yay, we did it. Yay. Good on them, right? You know, they achieved their thing. It's just, I'm sorry, it's never going to be a practical solution. And a couple of people complained in the previous video that I was laughing at people losing their jobs. Obviously, I'm not laughing at people losing their jobs. I'm laughing at the ridiculous concept of this thing and how all the investors just absolutely got conned and wasted their money on this impractical boondoggle. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, these people are going to lose their jobs. This company's going to go under. And it's just because it's a completely impractical concept. I'm sorry, these young guys are going to have to learn a lesson. Anyway, they got some experience for their resume, I guess. But let's take a look at TUM Hyperloop here. They're still going. This is the About page, as mentioned on, look at this, Forbes, Business Insider, TechCrunch. The next big leap in making Hyperloop a reality. The TUM Hyperloop Accelerator is the next exciting phase of Hyperloop development, pushing its testing to new lengths. Whereas our demonstrator provides the technological core elements of the Hyperloop system, the accelerator is geared towards bringing the technology to operational readiness. We're supposed to have it already. Didn't you know? Like, Hyperloop's been around for a decade now, and multiple companies working on it, and they all said that we'd be like riding on Hyperloops now. And it's, of course, it just went tits up with the Virgin Hyperloop one, or the Hyperloop one. This track will provide a platform to certify all key elements required for future Hyperloop operations. It will be the first time we test our Hyperloop's high-speed capabilities, adapt its system for curves, inclines, intersections, and gates. And yeah, everyone's talking about like the bend radius of this and the G-forces at speed and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you know, if you've got a completely straight track and, you have to go into all the physics of it. And it's just, you know, if you've got a completely straight track and you can keep the vacuum and you can keep it safe and you can get it, have a straight enough line to get it up to speed and stuff like that, you know, it all works great in theory. And then it just comes a gutser completely in practice. For the TUM Hyperloop, the accelerator presents a major leap forward in the quest for ultra-fast, emission-free and effortless transportation. Where does the energy come from all that maglev stuff, you know? Well, currently in its planning state, the project's successful implementation brings us one step closer to refining the technology. So, you know, they don't have big aspirational goal, like, as far as I know, they don't seem to be, you'll be riding this next year, and look at this twin loop on top of each. Oh, you can just time that right. You don't want them to slam into each other. I guess one comes in and then one goes out. That's the idea, right? I mean, but how does that even work? How does that even, like, work? Imagine, like, going, boom, like, I don't know. Yeah, so I assume one's, you know, departing and one's coming in. And they, no. Anyway, there's your fictional facility there with complete with artificial trees. Great. Redefining how we move in the future. Munich to Frankfurt in 26 minutes. London to Paris in 28 minutes. Copenhagen to Stockholm. Oh boy. Yep, come on. I got to admit, they've got a better looking pod than the Virgin. I think that's a better looking pod than the Virgin one. Leave it in the comments. What do you reckon? The program grew out of a student initiative founded to develop and build prototypes in order to compete in the SpaceX Hyperloop pod competitions between 2015 and 2019. Our team won all 4 editions of the global. Oh, really? Okay. Yep. Okay. So if you go and look at the old results from all those Hyperloop contests, you can see this team. They beat all the competition from renowned institutions like MIT and all the rest of it. Throughout a journey, the extensive experience we gathered in the field of ultra-high-speed ground transportation informs and shapes the key technologies that are crucial to make our technology demonstrator a success. Okay, you've demonstrated that a couple of people can survive in a 10 millibar vacuum inside the pod. So the pod's obviously got its own pressure system and life support system in it. And if that fails, you're dead. And all because you want to go at twice the speed of regular maglev, in theory. Like, I've been on maglev in Shanghai at 430 kilometers an hour. It's great. As I said in the previous video, the only problem with it is that, well, they chose 2 destinations that are just pointless, right? That wasn't very practical. It's more like a demonstrator thing, I think. And the fact that it uses a crap ton of energy to do the maglev. So, yeah, but if, you know, nuclear, solve the energy problem. Get a small modular reactor. They're all the rage, aren't they? And just hook one of those up to regular maglev, and you can go at 450 k's an hour. You make that safe, it's comfortable, and as long as you can acquire the land for it, but you can also tunnel as well with maglev. And, well, tunneling actually reduces the speed somewhat, I do believe, because you've got, like, the effects of, like, being near the tube and stuff like that. You've got the aerodynamics of the tube and things like that, but maglev, proven technology, it does actually work. It's just a real power hog, like, expensive kind of thing, but it's really good. But the high-speed trains, of course, can go practically as fast as the maglevs can these days, especially the Japanese systems and techs, and yeah, they're great. So yeah, nah, like, maybe this thing in theory can go twice as fast, but it's not like an order of magnitude game changer. So, like, to put people in the position of, like, if the life support system inside this pod dies, you die. If the vacuum, if the, you know, tube compresses or something, you're dead. It's just ridiculous to try and keep the atmospheric pressure out, and that's what has to keep you alive, right? You've got to keep the pressure out. A lot of people say, oh, but aeroplane's the same thing, it's pressurized. Yeah, but if you lose pressurization in a plane, your plane doesn't boom, implode like this, and you can just drop to a safe altitude. You drop down to, you know, 10,000 feet or whatever, the oxygen masks come down, and you've got time to get down, and everyone survives. No problem whatsoever. Proven concept. This is just not the same thing. And a lot of people will compare it. Oh, aeroplanes fly. Oh, everyone laughed at the Wright brothers. No, there's a reason why this 100-year-old technology has never taken off. Is because it's not practical. It's not practical compared to planes. And then you've got the, like, trade-off between having it too long and having it too short. If it's too short, then you waste too much time doing the vacuum and, you know, sealing and pressurization and prep and all that sort of rubbish to actually do it. And then you can't get up to speed. Anyway, you're better off just with a regular train. It's like, you know, orders of magnitude less cost, orders of magnitude safer, and, like, and it works, and it's practical, and it's used everywhere. And yeah, nah. And then if you have it long enough, well, to get up to speed, you know, you have a 1,000-kilometer long tube. Okay, try and vacuum seal a 1,000-kilometer long tube. What energy does that require? How do you have the gates? And what if the gates don't open in time? You know, you can have sections pressurized. And if the gates don't open in time, boom. And that's like, it's just, no, there's so many bloody issues with this. It was never going to work. It was never going to work. So let's have a look at their demonstrator anyway. TUM is the Technical University of Munich. There you go. Okay, so is this like a university funded? Where are they getting their funding from? Because there's a lot of coin that's gone into this. I can't imagine it's just university funding. And in that case, it's like, well, an engineering department at a university, like, spent money on this. Like, I can understand if some investor's willing to throw money at you because they think Hyperloop's going to be a winner. Well, you know, what's the university going to do? They're going to take the money, and all the students get to work on cool stuff, and it's all good, right? So these, I don't know, are these all students working on this thing? Is this a company? Don't know. Was certified as a test facility together with TUV. So it's all legit. Oh, there we go. We can get a look. That's really thick. That's thick as, isn't it? Anyway, that's all concrete at the bottom, is it? Is that all filled with concrete? And what are these giant holes in the bottom of it? Is that for? I don't know what that's for. Got any idea? Leave it in the comments down below. It doesn't seem for any like there's no cabling in it, or there's no part of the vacuum, you know, system or anything like that. I don't know. The passenger module, truly first of its kind, given inside look what travelling by Hyperloop will look like. Its architecture and design were developed from the ground up, featuring an exterior with aerodynamics in mind while giving the pod a distinctive TUM Hyperloop look. It's got to have the look. It doesn't have the big turbo fan on the front, though. Additionally, a combination of lightweight materials gives the pod an advantage in energy consumption. Well, that's different to what the Aussie guy said. Didn't he say in that previous video that it would take practically no energy to run? It's practically free. Bullshit. Notably, the demonstrator features the world's first passenger module with integrated interior concept, offering a glimpse of what traveling with our team completely reimagine Hyperloop pod has to offer. And what, you fit, 6 people in there? Yeah, you fit 5 passengers. The modular platform allows easy scalability for more passengers or reconfiguration. Okay, for cargo transport. Lightweight materials, highest safety standards, unique. Service module. Ooh. Look at that. Service module is the technological heart of our Hyperloop pod vehicle. Located underneath the passenger module, it houses the levitation, guidance, propulsion, and electronic systems, allowing the pod to hover and move precisely within the guideway without physical contact. By eliminating contact friction, a magnetic levitation system greatly improves the efficiency in the pod and reduces the maintenance needs. Onboard electronics carry out the calculations that control the pod's movement while exchanging commands and telemetry data with the operation control station. There you go. So they call that a service module. It's not servicing anything. It's the actual propulsion module, I guess. Like, a lot of engineering goes into this. So, you know, hats off. They've put a lot of engineering. Here's the vacuum tube with that, like, concretey base. One of the characteristic elements for Hyperloop is near vacuum. The pod travels in. The elimination of air resistance enables ultra-high-speed travel with minimal energy consumption. Our demonstrator brings this vision into the first segment. Aha, 24 meters long, 4 meter wide concrete structure is designed to maintain a vacuum within it. Right, so it was made out of concrete, not steel, so they already had the concrete. They're pouring the concrete, so why not pour it with, I don't know, some access tunnels, I guess. Serving as an ideal test environment for Hyperloop operations. In addition, the segment integrates the guideway, which houses all track elements required for the contactless movement of our passenger vehicle. So they've gone for concrete instead of steel. The operations station control is the central hub where all components of the demonstrator system are overseen and managed. This where all information is gathered, decisions are made, and commands are issued as the brain of our Hyperloop, providing instant access to real-time data, sensors throughout the system, the whole 24 meters of it. And yeah, okay, so they've got like a shed, and that's got the vacuum pumps under it, by the looks of it. Yeah, along with controlling the vacuum power, our control room features. Yeah, okay, so it looks like a vacuum pump under there, right? So they've integrated into like a modular system. They've put a lot of work into this. Interior. Ooh. Intuitively interact with the pod for a superior travel experience. This is the wank seat, otherwise known as the wank seat. You sit here and you can imagine what the Hyperloop's going to be like. This is the investor wank seat. So the investor sits here and they can imagine what the future's going to be like. Stay clear of door. This is interesting. I don't think I've seen that in like the Virgin one or whatever. You can actually see the guideway of how the door like seals and stuff. So it comes out here. They've got this 90-degree thing. So it pops out and this hinges out like this, and this one pops out and then guides like that, and it comes out, and so it'd have your O-ring seals on it and whatnot. So that's pretty good. But that's just a rendered mock-up. That's not what their one physically looks like. So, and look at what the hubs will look like. Oh, look at this. Oh, fantastic. Come on. Seriously? No, I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Access your Hyperloop pod. Oh my God. I can't believe so many people got sucked into this concept. Oh my goodness. Just have high-speed trains, proper metro system like we're getting here in Sydney now, and it's really great. And we've got really nice stations, and they arrive every couple of minutes, and you hop on, and they're high capacity, high speed, driverless. Man, you don't need any of this vacuum rubbish. Oh my goodness. 2 years ago, we made a promise to make Hyperloop a reality, and with it, fundamentally redefine how we move in the future. After 4 years of competing in a global stage, we went back to the drawing board to develop a revolutionary new vision and concept and achieve one goal: developing Hyperloop for passengers. Hyperloop demonstrator with the support of, there you go, that's where the money's coming from, the Bavarian state government and their high-tech agenda. Well, hi to all my viewers from Bavaria in Germany, which is a state over there, which has Munich and whatnot. And it looks like they've got some state government coin. So it's not the German federal government. It looks like a state government coin behind this. So it looks like they've got 86 people working on this. It's quite the team. They put a lot of engineering behind this. Good on them. Oh, we can check out their competition pods. There you go. So the project board, here you go, here's the project board, and then the safety team and the strategy and marketing team, they've got more than three times the number of people on the strategy and marketing than they have on safety and the project board. Of course, you got to get more funding. And operation and business case and aerodynamics and everything and system models, good on them, right? Demonstrator, pod straight, right? They've got tons of people, right? They've got tons of people working on this. Wow, this is TUM Hyperloop. This is huge. So I don't know if there's any University of Munich funds going into this as well. Presumably there might be. Press kits, rollout events, media packages, Hyperloop explained, and pod production. Oh, there you go. Look, we can tube construction. Oh, neat. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they set a record of 467 kilometers an hour at SpaceX Hyperloop competition. So yeah, that's how they were able to get. That was 5 years ago. That's how they were able to get the state government to fund that. Oh, those videos are quite large. One of them's 12 gig to download. I'm not going to download that. So yeah, good on them for developing the Hyperloop tech, but sorry, it's going to fail. It's going to fail, just like Version 1 is going to fail. It's not going to be commercially viable. It never will be. Just absolutely forget it. So yeah, please place your bets down. Will they survive? Will the funding survive 2024? I don't know how much funding they got, how much it's going to last, how long it's going to last, but yeah, no, sorry. It's, it literally is a pipe dream. And it's just not going to happen. It's not going to be practical. Good on them though. They put a lot of engineering into it. They're still going, I guess, from a couple of months ago. But when the investors see that Version 1, like you could see it years ago, right? But now that everyone knows that the Virgin Hyperloop 1, it's, it's shut down. Everyone wasted their investment money, mostly Dubai, I think 75% Dubai investment money or something. And yeah, it's failed. And this one, sorry to tell you, but it's going to go the same way. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, the Bavarian state government have wasted their money on this Hyperloop pipe dream. It's just not going to work. Some real practical engineers who aren't invested in it should have actually told them that, no, it's just not going to work. And this is just, no, it looks cool, but yeah, nah, sorry. Hyperloop's just going to fail. It's going to absolutely go tits up. Every single company working on this is going to go tits up. Will it happen in 2024 or will the funding last? They might be able to milk it out. I don't know. Solar roadways have been going for 17 years. They've been milking government funds and people on Indiegogo and whatnot for 17 years, I think it is now. So, and they're still going, I believe, with their impractical boondoggle of solar freaking roadways. And this thing, no, this is on a whole different scale. And no, no. Complete fail. So there you go, Hyperloop. It's going to be a thumbs down. You can guarantee it. Anyway, thoughts and comments down below. Catch you next time.